What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Alright, so before I get into this video, I want to give a shout out to some of my subscribers for contributing to the channel. I want to give a shout out to Stephanie for her considerable contribution to the channel. And I think Stephanie is a newer subscriber, so I want to tell you not only thank you for your support and your contribution, but if you ever want to request a video, you can do so as well, either in the video comments or on the note with the contribution. But thank you so much for your contribution, Stephanie. I want to give a shout out to Aram for his contribution to the channel. I saw your note, and I'm really glad that you like this content, and I'll try to keep making more videos for you guys. I want to thank Larry for his contribution to the channel. Larry has been a frequent contributor to this channel, and you have made excellent video suggestions as well. I want to thank Jacob and Joshua for their contributions to this channel, as they have also been frequent contributors to this channel. And I want to thank everybody that has contributed to this channel over the past year and supported my channel over the years. And I also want to thank those that have supported me over there on the Patreon. And the Patreon is only $2 per month. And on the Patreon, I'm able to talk about stuff I can't talk about on YouTube. Now, as many of you have probably already heard, there is a new surge in this initial outbreak of you know what. And I have been, as many of others on YouTube have also stated, that I don't think it's a good idea to get back into what we would call normalcy. Okay, it's just not. It's not a good time to try to make things the way they were when they're still not right. Okay, this thing has not gone anywhere. There was this theory that as we got into the summer months, that would help to kill this thing. And as we can see, that has not really been the case. Now, in many states that have been responsible, and in many states where people have strongly adhered to the suggestions and sometimes rules and regulations handed down by the state, the outbreak has been relatively contained. One state like that is here in Virginia. Although the governor, who I don't particularly care for because of the blackface shit, I will say this, the governor has been on it when it comes to this situation. But there's many governors, especially in the South, who have, pretty much thrown caution to the wind and have played the Trump playbook, and it is backfiring. And unfortunately, it's affecting people's lives. And as we can see, that lack of caution, that lack of awareness, that lack of, that carefree attitude, it pays a price. And that is, we're seeing a secondary outbreak, and we see it with these football players. Okay? Earlier this month, it was reported that numerous LSU players were testing positive for the virus. Then you heard about Alabama, their football team. Now, Clemson. Clemson has had 23 players test positive for it. And earlier this month, they reported that 28 of their personnel on the football team tested positive. On top of that, the idiot in chief who held that underwhelming, Juneteenth rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and 6 people, 6 staffers who were in charge of putting the thing together tested positive. The idiots who attended the rally to support him, who believe in him. This idiot I just read this idiot suggested that testing should be slowing down, that we shouldn't be as concerned. What is wrong with this moron? I mean, does he like this? What is wrong with him? Anyway, the idiots that attended that rally had to sign a waiver so that if they did get sick with the virus, they didn't have to. The Trump team, the administration, they weren't liable. But there's no risk. Come to the rally and support your Führer. Then again, I don't give a fuck about those people anyway. And then to find out that D.L. Hughley, who, we found out, and I reported yesterday that he was okay, he was diagnosed with COVID. By the way, did you notice that he received his diagnosis? This is something that perplexed me. Did you see how he was diagnosed in probably 12 hours, I guess, right? Less than 24 hours. But it took Charles Barkley 6 weeks to get his results back. What the fuck is up with that? But anyway, I hate to say this, man, but this only confirms the fears I've had about, starting up sports, whether it's the professional, which is what I've been focusing on with the NBA, or amateur sports. And this is the thing. This proves a couple of my theories. This proves, of all these different incidences, this proves a couple of my theories. Number one, that starting back up the NBA can be and would be possibly an unmitigated disaster. Because, number one, the city that they want to start it back up in, where they'll be isolated at, right, for a long period of time, would be Orlando. Florida has seen a tremendous uptick in cases. Orlando itself has seen an uptick in cases. And you want to put these people down there to play. It's stupid. All right? As we can see with a lot of these young people, as I said before, they're asymptomatic. They feel fine, not realizing they have the virus. I'm assuming that a lot of people who have COVID feel fine, or at the very most, they might feel like they have a slight cold. The problem is if they pass it to a child, if they pass it to a loved one with underlying health conditions like diabetes, extreme hypertension, heart disease, asthma, you know what I'm saying? That's when the problem lies. What happens, unfortunately, if a player, we talked about this on Ticket's channel the other day, shout out to Ticket TV. What happens if JaVale McGee, unfortunately gets this? He has breathing problems. As we all know, COVID affects the lungs. And let me say this too. I know a lot of us have our theories about how this virus isn't as dangerous as they want it to be, as they wanted to make it out to be. And I understand some of you guys' talking points. All right. But at the end of the day, I know this. I do know for a fact with my very own eyes that this virus wiped out a nursing home. where I live at. Completely wiped it out. The flu doesn't do that. Okay? I've seen flu outbreaks in some of these nursing homes. The flu doesn't kill 53 people in 3 weeks. Okay? So there's something not quite right with this virus. All right? This isn't your standard run-of-the-mill head cold seasonal flu. This is something a little bit weirder in how it affects the body. But at the end of the day, I think it would be a terrible idea to restart sports. And I think that this only strengthens Kyrie Irving's arguments about players who are really, really, really concerned about restarting the NBA season. You know what I'm saying? And that's just sports in general. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're talking about Major League Baseball or you're talking about football. Many people, you know what I'm saying, are in a rush to get their sports fix. Okay? And some of these people out there are really irritating me with some of the shit they're saying. Well, you know, I mean, look. I mean, these are young guys. I mean, you know, as we can see, the stats clearly show that this virus just doesn't kill young people, which isn't true. It just doesn't kill young people. So, I mean, look, some of you guys are just, are sheep, okay? These players need to get out there and earn their money. Shut the fuck up. You're probably the first motherfucker out there that, you know what I'm saying, is getting that fucking unemployment, and you talking about they need to earn their money and shit. Get the fuck out of here. But these players aren't pawns, you know what I'm saying? These players have families. These players have children. They have wives. You know what I'm saying? They got older family members. You know what I'm saying? And we already saw what happened to Karl Anthony Towns' mother. All right? We already saw what happened to Patrick Ewing. We already saw what happened to many sports figures. We already saw what happened to Tom Dempsey, the field goal kicker who lost his life in a nursing home. All right? I don't know what else to say. You know what I'm saying? If people want sports that bad, I don't know. All I think at the end of the day is it shows that we, as a culture, we need our sports fix. And it shows that the owners only care about money. You know what I'm saying? This won't be the first time that the NBA lost money. In the 2003-2004 season, when, you know, in 2004-2005 season, actually I think it was, when the Spurs played the Pistons in what was then the lowest rated finals in NBA history, the NBA lost $400 million, I think, or $500 million in revenue. That's why you saw those drastic rule changes. Plus, the Malice in the Palace didn't help either. But that's where you saw all these drastic rule changes. But at the end of the day, though, all I'm saying is we really still have a lot to work on in this country when it comes to containing this virus. And I think they need to just chill. They just hold off on sports for a while longer and get this situation under control as possible. Really, they need to wait until, honestly, if it's feasible, I think they need to wait until there's a vaccine. I know there's a lot of people that sit there saying they're not going to take the vaccine. I'm not letting it, man. At the end of the day, most of us have been vaccinated for some shit one way or the other, and we're still okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can make an argument that vaccines may have a link to autism. But you know what? I don't have polio. You know what I'm saying? I don't have smallpox. I never had that. I never had a lot of these old diseases to fucking kill people, like the mumps. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these shits that used to kill kids and people back in the day, I haven't had because of vaccines. So I'm not gonna. Look, I get people's arguments. I do. I understand. You know, the I get what's going on in the world, just like anybody else do. But at the end of the day, if there's a vaccine and it's effective, versus me taking my chances, knowing I have asthma and other, broncho, issues, I probably would take the vaccine. I'm just being honest with you. But tell me what you guys think.